Battle shounen, a type of anime that is, well, what gets people into anime usually. Hey guys, what's good? This is Dorin here. Today let's discuss Battle Shonen, perhaps the kind of anime that most people know of, including Dragon Ball, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, etc, etc. So what do I think about it? So here's my opinion personally. Since a lot of people really dislike Battle Shonen because of how repetitive it can get, but I actually like Battle Shonen. Why is that? So, in my personal opinion, though some tropes are really overused, such as having a very hyperactive MC and an edgy rival, and the power of friendship, and etc etc, I actually also think that Battle Shonen provides really good quality in battles. Yes, that's what it is known for. Battles can contain a lot of strategic or tactical elements, but it also at times can contain stuff like emotional hype that they have been carrying over. So I would also like to expand on that and to say that furthermore, the battles are really well done and not necessarily just like the clones of Goku vs Frieza, but rather when we look at series like Hunter x Hunter and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we can see a very clear, nuanced tactical element in these anime where the characters are trying to outsmart each other. That's really always fun and beautiful to see in my personal opinion. So that's what I really appreciate about Battle Shonen. Furthermore, here's an underrated aspect of Battle Shonen that only some people tend to realize. Of course, people watching anime at a large scale may not, but it is something that is pretty overlooked. So Battle Shonens, especially ones like Naruto and One Piece, also carry a strong philosophical element towards them. You take a piece of information, or well, a trend that has happened in these series, and it captures your eyes for a long time. And yeah, it's gonna be on your mind for a decent time. Why not though? Because it's literally so deep and it actually talks about real life as well, such as One Piece and the idea of racism in that, especially when you see how the Marines act in certain arcs, and just like that, also there's the idea of Naruto and the cycle of hatred and how one thing impacts the other. These are really interesting concepts to look at, which are well more prominent in seinen, but in shonen they are very, very interesting because shonens tend to be longer than seinens, and that actually allows us to take more perspectives at these problems at hand, and that actually really does bring us clear concentration on these matters. So why not though? Why would it not? Because, well, they're so long. There has to be some benefit towards them being so long, right? So here's what I really think about Battle Shonen. In that aspect, fights really do provide a lot of entertainment value, and the philosophical aspects of them also provide us some real value too. Other than that though, there are also subplots in Battle Shonen that also really bring entertainment value. For example, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, towards the later end of that, we also have a mystery plot towards Yoshikage Kiran capturing him. That is also quite compelling in my personal opinion. Likewise, in Naruto, there was also a subplot about Kakashi and well, finding out what's underneath his mask. That was also pretty fun. So yeah, these very different kinds of subplots are really interesting. Like in Hunter x Hunter, there was also Greed Island, which some people hate, but I actually love that too. So yeah, subplots are really also fun and have a lot of entertainment value in my personal opinion. So yeah, other than that, I would also say that shonen, although seinen definitely does make it look like garbage in comparison, at least I think that's a perspective that a lot of people will take, even though I don't necessarily agree with that and do think that shonen has a lot of entertainment value too. I would also like to say that shonen is pretty overlooked by people, in the sense that people really talk low about shonen, like it's not good at all, and people really baby it down to that level, and I think that's unnecessary, since shonen anime still have a lot more value than, well, not value, but rather have more compelling and more deeper plots than a lot of the stuff we see in Western television. Like, obviously, any anime you can think of is going to be better than, of course, the recent treatment stuff like Star Wars has gotten, and a lot of the recent Marvel movies. Of course, not the MCU. That was, well, not at the MCU before Phase 4, of course, but yeah, the Marvel movies have also started to suck a lot, and in comparison, anime still is pretty better. And keep in mind, Marvel and Star Wars are both groundbreaking franchises, but as we can see that anime has been taking over the franchise, the entertainment franchise, and the entertainment industry as well, because, well, you can see how much better manga series are doing in sales than, of course, how good, well, Marvel movies or Star Wars have been doing. Because, well, keep in mind, now this is interesting, because it is actually shonen anime that have been taking over the manga sales. Why wouldn't they? Of course, since shonen manga sell more. Why do they sell more? Well, one could argue it's because of the fact that they were the first kind that were published. The other perspective to take is the fact that these are just good series, and I think that is where the truth lies, because the anime that have been blowing up recently are, of course, Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, which are more on the shonen seinen aspect, shonen level. Yeah, these are shonen anime, and of course, some of them are seinen anime too. There are some seinen anime that are doing well too, but yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is obviously a shonen, and shonen anime are doing really well, in fact, and that's something people must need to keep in mind. Also, the fact that One Piece and, of course, Demon Slayer are also doing really well, even though I personally am not a big fan of Demon Slayer. It is still to note that Demon Slayer is doing pretty well, and people definitely do downplay Demon Slayer as well and say that it is carried heavily by animation, but I actually don't agree with that point either. So, what do I personally think about Demon Slayer and the claim that a lot of battle shonen are carried by animation? Well, in my personal opinion, I don't think that's necessarily the case. While the animation does accentuate the hype that a series gets, I don't think that's the only factor that it gets hype for, because these are series that come from well-reputed magazines such as Weekly Shonen Jump, and that actually instills the hype onto the series rather than the series having animation that instills the hype. Although yes, the studio at play that is animating does actually contribute to. In this the case of course, Demon Slayer, we have Ufotable, which is a very well known studio. Of course it is, because it also has the Fate series, which is another iconic anime series. So yeah, I definitely do think while that contributes to the fact somewhat, I don't think it is the sole thing that carries it. But yeah, on top of the fact, we can see that in the overall picture, people really do tend to look down on battle shonen and overlook the nuanced complexity of the fact that it takes a deeper look at philosophical elements, and the fights are really amazing in the fact that they actually tease your brain quite a bit, and when you least expect it, they actually deliver. For example, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Polnareff is cornered by a guy who has trapped him under a bed, and he has no way out, but what he ends up doing is breaking a piece of glass so he can actually take a look at the enemy. Now, this is something that no one has expected while they are watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so that actually does capture your interest, doesn't it? So yeah, great philosophical elements, great strategic fights, and of course, great plot. That's why it blows up in the first place, and people are overlooking it from that aspect. And finally, the popularity speaks for itself, especially what else you have what else do you have, even Marvel or Star Wars? The modern state of Marvel, Star Wars anyways, because the older ones were great, but yeah, not these ones. But yeah, regardless of the fact though, I think shonen anime are pretty great, and people really overlook them and the complexity and nuances in them. So yeah, with that out of the way, I would just like to say that these are my opinions on shonen anime, and with that out of the way, I would say that thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. With that out of the way, I will be signing out now. Peace gamers, take care, bye!